Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel. And in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at the eagerly awaited Bachmann GWR 94XX Pannier tank. Has this model been worth the wait? Well, let's find out. In 2015, Bachmann first announced that they were going to be producing the 94XX Pannier tank. Now, I do have quite a soft spot for the GWR Pannier tank engines, so I couldn't really say no to a 94XX. And then in 2019, when I saw the decoration samples of these on display at Worley, the phrase "shut up and take your money" sprung immediately to mind, because I just couldn't not have one of these. They have been a long time coming. It's been something like a 5-6 years wait, but now they're here. This particular one that I have here is the Locomotion Models Exclusive, number 9400 in GWR Green, as preserved at Steam and Swindon. Now, if I had to get one of these, it was going to be GWR Green. Originally, I considered one of Bachmann's standard releases, number 9402 in the GWR Green livery. But then, when I saw the pictures of 9400, what stood out to me on the model was that it's been modelled on its condition as it's preserved in real life. What stood out to me on the model was all the chrome fittings, and so that for me is what led to me buying this model. And it's just arrived in the post, and I've very much been looking forward to this, because last week when they were announced when this was going to be arriving, I instantly had it purchased in a heartbeat, and now it's here. So I've very much been looking forward to this. So I'm going to get this model unboxed, and then we're going to get it down on the layout. So with the model unboxed, just a few things I'm going to quickly talk about before we come onto the model itself. First of all, there's the box, and I really do love the artwork on the front there. I think that just looks superb. And also we have the accessory parts, which are all the usual bits of detail that you expect to see. Screw link couplings, cab doors and vacuum pipes. You also get some etched number plates as well with the model, which I didn't expect to see. So that's quite a nice feature that those have been included. And there we have the model itself, and that is an absolute beauty. So here we have the model down on the layout, and the first thing I can say with this model is that there are no quality control issues at all whatsoever on this model. So I don't need to go through the list and tell you what isn't wrong with this model, because that speaks volumes. It's in the superb pristine condition that you expect this model to be in when you first get it. Also, this model works straight out of the box as well, in both directions, and the mechanism on this model is absolutely smooth. It's like honey running off the end of a butter knife, it really is. And also, this model also comes with a flickering firebox. And very much like with Bachmann's Class 1532 1P tank, the flickering firebox has two firebox LEDs. One is red and one is yellow. The red one will work on DC, analog, and the yellow one and the red one will both work on DCC. I know some people think the flickering firebox is a gimmick, but it's a feature that I do really like. And it's a feature now that seems to now be starting to become standard, because there are a number of manufacturers now releasing models with flickering fireboxes. So I think that this could be the sort of thing that we can expect to see now. But I quite like the feature. So now we can move on to the detail. So first of all, as standard, we've got small metal buffers, and they're painted silver, which looks really nice. Then I turn my attention to the chrome fittings on this model. The handrail on the smoke box, that's chrome. You've also got handrails on the running board, they're chrome. You've also got the separately fitted smoke box door darts, which are painted chrome, and as well as the smoke box door hinges, again painted chrome. You've also got the wheels themselves, which they've been given that polished chrome look to them, as it looks on the real locomotive that you see at Steam in Swindon. And that's such a nice thing to see on the model, that is. And again, that's, to me, is what stood out on the model. And it just looks absolutely superb. The chimney has a copper cap, and that's not just been painted, that's actually made out of turned brass to give it that copper look. And that just looks absolutely stunning. You've got rivet detail on the smoke box, as you can see, and a separately fitted lamp iron on there. And then the front of the water tanks, you've got those steps there for the crew to climb up to the top of the tanks. You've also got separately fitted handrails on the front of the water tanks and on top as well. On the running board, you can see we have a pre-fitted vacuum pipe that's been separately fitted. You've got the loco's running number 9400 crisply applied on the buffer beam. You've also got some nice rivet detail on the buffer beam as well. And also on the running board we have separately fitted lamp irons. On the sides of the water tanks you have got separately fitted metal handrails. On the running board we have separately fitted lamp irons. You've also got the toolbox there. You've also got some steam piping, and some of that has been painted, as you can see, and that looks superb. There's also some visible daylight under the boiler, as well as some inside motion detailing. It doesn't move, but then it doesn't need to. And also take note of the separately fitted reversing levers as well. The detail that's gone into this is just superb. And you also wouldn't believe how heavy this model is either. This model has got a lot of weight packed into it, so you're not going to have any problems with traction. Just under the running plate we have footsteps. They have some nice rivet detail on them, and this one just here, excuse my giant finger, has SDN crisply applied on it. We've also got some separately fitted pipework as well, just under the cab, and again the detail is absolutely superb. Now we move on to the cab and the bunker. We have a wealth of rivet detail. You've got separately fitted metal handrails. Again, you've got steps for the crew to climb up to the top of the bunker if they need to do so. And you've got the number plates as well. They are crisply applied on the model and they're very nicely done, but I will be fitting the etched ones that you get in the detail pack. So now I'm moving on to the cab interior detail. Now you will have to excuse the bright light, that's because I'm using a little torch, just to see into the cab a bit better so you guys can see the cab interior detail more clearly. Because I find on camera it can be hit and miss sometimes. But anyway, so all the cab interior detail parts have been painted. They're all picked out, as you can clearly see. And it's always nice to see the painted cab interior detail. The regulator, the levers, the gauges, the dials, etc. And it's just fantastic. They've also painted the cab floor as well, which is a very nice touch and again nice to see. On the top of the water tanks we have the water filler caps, as you can see, and those handles there to open them. You've also got the washout plugs, as well as the GWR safety valve there. You've also got the whistles as well, painted and they look really nice. And you have glazing in the cab windows. So now I'm going to move to the livery application, which is absolutely stunning. There's no defects or imperfections anywhere at all with the livery. It's been evenly and very well applied. The shade of green, it's really nice, it's superb, and it's the correct shade of green as well, if I may add. And also you've got the GWR lettering there, crisply applied on the water tanks, and they've got the correct style font as well that they've used, and they're correctly spaced as well as per the prototype. Moving to the rear of the bunker, as you can see again, we have a lot of rivet detail. We've got some separately fitted handrails there. You've got separately fitted lamp irons. You've got the fire iron holders on the back, again separately fitted. We've also got a pre-fitted vacuum pipe or brake pipe, however you choose to call it. Again, you have sprung silver metal buffers, and as standard, of course, you've got the NEM tension lock couplings, which of course will be replaced with the hump couplings. So in the bunker we have a metal coal load, as you can tell, because of the shiny look to it, though I may add some real coal on top of that later on. You've also got the guard irons there on the rear cab windows, and also on top of the roof, just there, you can see a separately fitted handrail. And then finally we move to the other side of the loco. You can see the lever there inside the cab. We've got some more painted pipe work just underneath the water tanks, as you can see. You have a reversing lever, which on this side has actually been painted that silver colour, which looks really nice, and again you've got a separately fitted reversing lever. So I have fitted some of the accessories that you get with the model. So as you can see, I fitted a vacuum pipe and I fitted the chain link couplings, and they are painted silver, so I couldn't not put those on. And for anyone who's perhaps interested how easy these detail parts can be fitted to the model, they just slot straight into the holes with a small amount of glue. I've also fitted the etched number plates as well. I've used double-sided tape and a very, very small amount of U-hoo to hold them in place. You do get some cab doors for this model, but I haven't put them in because I decided to not fit the cab doors on the model. I decided to leave it as it is. I've also fitted a hump coupling and the screw link coupling on the other end, which is again painted silver. And I've also fitted the vacuum through pipes as well, on the front of the loco and on the rear. As you can see, although the other one that goes on, that attaches onto just there, that's fallen onto the floor, never to be seen again. I don't know where it's gone, but it's not the end of the day, because you're never really going to notice that, to be honest. I don't think. It might turn up at some point as well, but that's not really a big issue. And there's the other etched number plate, and fitting the etched number plates, I think, does make a difference from the printed ones. So that's it then for my review for the Bachmann GWR 94XX Pannier tank number 9400, produced exclusively for Locomotion Models. So my conclusion for this model then, it's an absolute exquisite model. Even when I'm just sat here looking at it right now, it's absolutely stunning. It has been a long wait, but it shows that even if perhaps the wait for some of these models can get irritating, the wait in the end is definitely worth it. I would rather that the manufacturers take their time and produce these models to get them done right, rather than just rushing them out onto the market and then have them riddled with quality control issues. I mean, you look at this model and it's superb, like I say. I can't pick fault with it. I've got no problems with it. I couldn't pick any faults with it, to be honest, because it's perfect. And I'm really, really glad that I got one of these. This particular one, like I say, this is a Locomotion Models exclusive, so you can only buy it from Locomotion Models. It is more expensive than Bachmann's standard one for a DCC ready one. The DCC ready ones are priced at 110 quid. The sound fitted ones are more expensive, of course, because they've got sound. This one, being an exclusive to Locomotion Models, is priced at 134 quid, but then you can only get it from Locomotion Models. And regardless, it's money well spent. It's definitely well worth paying the money for. And so I'm really over the moon with this. So, if this is a model that interests you, definitely go out and buy one, because you won't regret it. I certainly haven't. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get 9400 pulling the rake of chocolate and cream Mark 1s round the layout. I think that'll be quite a sight. And also, I do apologise in the background if you guys spot these. These are anti-mouse scent sachets, and the reason these have been put on around the layout in various different areas is because in this garage here where we keep the layout, we've had trouble with mice in here. Yeah. I mean, they have on occasion come on the layout. I have found it on the odd occasion a few little tiny mouse droppings. Also, they have, I noticed there was a little nut in here randomly on the layout. I have noticed a couple of things that get moved about, particularly as well with foliage, that they've almost as if they've tried to have a go at it. Also, my Liverpool and Manchester Railway third class carriages I keep inside this shed, they were knocked over, and perhaps even more bizarrely, a buffer stop over there, and that woman that you've seen in a number of running sessions in a few shots leaning on the tyres, which you would have seen in a few videos before, that figure has gone missing. I don't know why. I can't explain the missing of the buffer stop either. I've literally no idea. I'm mind blown with that. So these sachets, I can only assume that because they're not supposed to like the mint smell of them, that it keeps them at bay. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And let's hope they don't do any more damage, because you know, you put your heart and soul and money into this layout, the last thing you want is mice coming along and trying to ruin it. But anyway, enough about that. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button. Also, whilst you're at it, check out all my other videos I have on the channel. And feel free to post a comment. And I'll see you again next time, and let's all hope that this dreadful virus can just go away and we can just have our freedom back. We can start going back to heritage railways again, etc. So stay safe, stay well, and take care. Goodbye.